Hi guys, this is Yashi. Welcome back to the channel. Today with a real estate market update about Northern Virginia housing market. Happy New Year. It's 2023. Let's look at what happened in 2022 and let's look at the trend for this new year, what to do, what to expect, look at data, and let me give you my own opinion. Let's get started here. We're gonna start with market rates. 2022 was a very interesting year in terms of mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are very important because they drive the real estate market, as low interest rates make it much cheaper to buy, high interest rates make it much more expensive. We started out in 2022 with a 3% average 30-year loan mortgage, which then went all the way over 7% to then drop again under 7%. So we started out 2023 with the average rate being at 6.52%, very low compared to the all-time high we saw in the past. However, still very high if we compare it to last year. Let's go on with some actual data. And this is an article, this is the actual data using Market Minute, Long and Foster data. This is up until November, but it still shows some good data. Why did I choose these? Why is it only until November if some sites offer all the data until December of 2022? Because this report here focuses on Northern Virginia specifically. If I take out other reports like Realtor.com, I can pinpoint some locations like Fairfax, Arlington, Leesburg, etc. But I cannot get the whole. This here gives me the whole situation and it's pretty accurate. The trend is still there. There are some questions I have about where December data is because we're getting some, let's say, trend changes, flips that are looking even worse if you're a home buyer and even better if you're a home seller. Let's get started here. Units sold, like the rest of America, has been going down, falling off a cliff, very expected. Active inventory, on the other hand, we saw it climb up like the rest of America all the way until June, July, then plateau. And because of fewer and fewer homes being listed on the market by home sellers who do not want to upgrade to something new because there's no incentive to do so with high mortgage rates and high prices, it has been going down. What does this mean if you're a home buyer or home seller? It is going down, so even if demand is lower, there's still less and less homes being sold, and there will be less and less homes being sold in the future, leading to a situation maybe, as we saw in 2021, where we have a shortage of homes and a high competition among buyers, even if there's less buyers out there. This is the current situation with active inventory. Median sale price. While the rest of the media has been saying that there is a crash, home prices have been crashing. Although they dropped from the all-time high, the end of the day, they still went up. In this case, by 3% in Northern Virginia specifically. The median sale price last year, November 2021, was $530K. This year, November, was $550. So we still went up, even if everybody's calling for a crisis. New listings. This is amount of new listings that came up on a monthly basis in Northern Virginia versus current contracts. This is very interesting. This is the first time I see this kind of data. And the reason why it's very interesting, it pretty much tells you how many homes are being sold, are being put under contract on a monthly basis, and how many homes are being listed as new homes for sale on the market. Now, if you have less contracts less homes going under contract than the homes that are being put on the market, it means that this trend of the long term will increase the inventory of homes. However, if you have less homes coming on the market compared to the contracts the homes that are going under contract, it means that more people are buying than people are listing, which will decrease the supply of homes. And as until now, the two have been going very close together. And if you see now, it's looking very bad because we see that inventory has been falling off a cliff for the past couple of months. So have been contracts, like homes being put under contract. The problem is that we're starting to get towards a switch in trend where there are being more homes being put under contract than homes being listed on the market, which means that the trend of inventory going down will be accelerated even more. This is not looking good if you're a home buyer, looking very good if you're a home seller, because you might get again in a situation where you're listing a house in a situation where there's no homes being listed, so more buyers might be competing for your house. List price, sale price against list price. The percentage is 99.1%. So yes, we're not above 100%. Sellers are listing their houses and they're not selling it for the list price, but they're still getting extremely close to it. 99.1% is extremely close. If you're selling for 100K, you're still getting 99. I'll be happy with that, especially considering all the negativity we have been seeing on media lately. It's looking much better than what is being described. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about months of supply. If you were not adding any more homes on the supply of Northern Virginia, how many months would it take to sell all of them and get to a supply of 0? It would take 1.7 months. This is one of the lowest ratios you can find in America. It's probably one of the ratios that is dropping the American average, because on average, America has 2 to 3 months of supply. Northern Virginia is only 1.7. A healthy market should have around 6 to 8 months of supply. We are less than a fourth than that. So this tells you how much competitive this market, even if slowed down, still is compared to what is being described out there. Should there be a crisis in Northern Virginia? That is for you to decide. However, the data is looking pretty much, is explaining pretty much the opposite than what media is portraying. There has been a general slowdown, which you can see an increase of supply of homes because homes have been picking up, demand has been going down. However, the trend is now inverting, and this special, let's say, graph we just looked at, new listings and current contracts, is clearly showing the inversion of that trend, which could lead to another seller's market, not buyer's market, which will make the buyer's market, the buyer's life, much more difficult. Now, what is the good news? We've seen the Fed slowing down the interest rates hikes, and we see in the mortgage rates starting to stabilize under 7%. I'm starting to see some YouTubers, some media outlets talking about potentially seeing 2023 rates end up lower than what we saw in 2022, which is good news for a buyer, ending up paying potentially less in mortgage rates, so the cost of a loan will be lower. However, they're also entering a market that could potentially end up very competitive, as we saw in 2021. So keep your eyes on the data. If you like my quick updates here, please like and subscribe, because I post these at least on a weekly basis. I take as many different sources of data as I can, as some get updated quicker, some are more precise, but at least I try to get to be up to date as much as I can. Thank you for watching, guys. Happy New Year, and ciao.